Hey everyone, OmarTX here, and this is a panel on the Mario franchise. I have two guests here, What User 990
Hey everybody.
and KBMadhouse.
Hey, what's up, people?
Okay, so first let's talk about what were some of our first Mario games. Well, anyways, my first Mario game was back around the time of when I was a kid on the Super Nintendo, and the first game I played was Super Mario World, which was one of my favorite Mario games of all time. And another learning game, I believe it was Mario Teaches Typing or something along that line. And then I traded it for another game. I can't exactly remember what that was.
Want to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
I remember actually playing the first Mario game on my cartridge, Super Mario World, and Super Mario Bros. 2. Ironically,
Okay, go ahead, KB Madhouse. What was your first Mario game?
wow. Can't really remember which games I played on the Super Nintendo because that was probably the first console I ever played. And well, I remember playing Super Mario Brothers 3, which I absolutely loved. Which I remember they had that port called Super Mario All Stars, which they had like Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers: The Lost World, Super Mario Brothers 2, and Super Mario 3. And basically, 3 was my favorite on that. I also had other games like Super Mario World and Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. And there was also this other game called Mario Paint, which I remember. Those were my games on the Super Nintendo. And I also played the Nintendo 64 with Mario 64 as well and Mario Kart.
Okay, now let us move on to the 2D console and handheld Mario games, such as for the NES, Arcade, Super Nintendo, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance. Yeah, one of my favorite games for the Super Nintendo was Super Mario RPG, which is one of the greater RPGs that I've played.
Yeah, I love that game. That was a brilliant game. Not really, but
Yeah, I also like the Super Mario World games, they were pretty fun. But I didn't like how in Super Mario World 2 you had to keep rescuing Baby Mario all the time.
yeah.
Not a
And
played that much
Yoshi just
Mario
get hurt,
World.
like, so it was always like Baby Mario which would get hurt. Anyway, I really liked the bosses in Super Mario World 2 because it was like, I think, wasn't there one, I think it got swallowed by that giant toad or something.
Yeah, you got put
And
in its stomach or something like that.
yeah, and you have to keep defeating, like, enemies and then you just kill him. That was probably one of my favorite bosses on Super Mario World 2. I also on Super Mario World 1. Um, I can't really. It's been a long time since I played that game. I played Super Yoshi's Island for Game Boy Advance, and I can remember stuff like that, but I can't really remember the Super Mario World bosses except for Bowser.
You know, there was like Bowser's kids were the earlier enemies in the game.
Yeah, but I can't basically remember what they did and stuff. I can remember there was like I can remember the stages. There was like the lava stages and stuff. And you had like the awesome music and stuff in the game.
Yeah, it was a good
Yeah,
soundtrack.
yeah, they were both good soundtracks. So yeah,
Well, anyways, now moving on to the NES, which one of my favorite games on there is Super Mario Bros. 3, which is probably my all-time favorite Mario game.
yeah. I Seven Sons of Bowser were just they had good like powers and stuff, and it was just the cutscenes I found quite funny. It was just like you just always find the king like turned into a different type of animal, like
Like a snake or
uh,
a dog.
yeah, and the way he just stood and moving is just like really funny.
Yeah. What user 990? What about you? What were some of your favorite 2D Mario games?
The only 2D Mario games I played were the first three, and I actually really liked two when I was younger. I played it recently, not so much, and I also like the original one. I might not have been the biggest fan of three, though I did play it quite a bit, and I remember the over whistles or whatever people say about some of them. Never really stopped watching them.
Yeah, Mario 2 for the NES was pretty good. I believe it's also made based off of another game.
Yeah, I remember that too.
And don't forget Mario Hotel. So if you want, let out all the poop references now.
Yeah,
We
and it was
closed the
funny when
discussion book.
you know that when you pick up items in Super Mario World 2, and when the AVGN made his video about Bible games, when you could see how it was ripping off Super Mario World 2 in a lot of ways, like picking them up over the head and stuff, and walking on those logs as well.
I don't believe I've seen that video.
Yeah, it's quite good.
I'll have to check it out. Well, anyways, Mario Hotel has probably got some of the strangest cutscenes that I've ever seen in a game.
I never really owned a CDI, to be honest.
Mm. Well, still
It
though, the
really,
cutscenes make for a good YouTube poop.
yeah,
Well, anyways, now let's move on to some of the 3D Mario games, such as for the Nintendo 64, GameCube, DS, and Wii.
yeah. Yeah, I like Super Mario 64 was all time awesome 3D game, and then when the remake came out for the DS, it was just had a whole lot of new stuff. As for instance, playing as Yoshi, Luigi, and Wario as well, with different powers and stuff, was really good. It was, it was amazing.
Yeah, the Super Mario 64 DS was good, and so was the original.
Yeah, I also like. I don't know if people like this that much. Did they? Um, Luigi's Mansion. I did actually really like that. It was really good in my opinion.
Yeah, it was
I did like.
something different from most of the other Mario games for once.
Yeah, like my favorite boss from that was the when you're in the cradle and you've got to defeat that giant baby.
Yeah, that was the first boss battle.
Yeah, it was hard fighting Bogmire. Mm. What's your favorite Mario Kart game?
I'd probably say on the Super Nintendo or DS.
Yeah, DS, like had all classics and stuff.
I only played this Mario Kart 64. It's still good.
Yeah, Mario Kart 64 was good, except the graphics were somewhat downgraded. Well, anyways, now let's talk about Super Mario Galaxy, which is, I believe, the most recent Mario game.
I played it, but in all honesty, I did really like it. It was a good change, but I did I got bored of it. It was quite good.
Yeah, it was a good game, but they could have made more use out of some of the suits, such as the one that you get at the end of the game, but I won't really spoil it for anyone who's not played up to that point. Well, anyways, now let's move on to the TV shows and live action film.
Yeah, Super Mario Brothers movie fails in my opinion. It was just all I didn't get what I mean. Bowser just looked. He was just he was skinny and he just had really bad acting. Why were both their last names Mario? I mean Mario, Luigi Mario. It was and Luigi's relationship with Daisy. Yeah,
And
not
some
really.
of the other enemies, such as the Bob-ombs and the Koopas, they didn't look really anything like what they were supposed to, and
I laughed when I saw the Goombas. I mean, they had like a freakishly huge body and then just a small head. What I don't what the hell was up with that? And there was also Super Mario Brothers Super Show, which I watched one or two episodes and I didn't know what the hell was going on. I mean, you just it tried to reenact the stages and stuff, but it just it was just so random, like fighting Goombas and then it say, "I'll stop you, Koopa," and then yeah,
That's Mama Luigi to you, Mario.
yeah, which I think is overused now.
Yeah, it's
You know
become
what?
quite overused. I guess we're just about done here with the panel. Is there any final words that you would like to say before we close it?
So yeah, I'd probably like to say, what do you think about the rivalry between Mario and Sonic? Did you say, well,
I'd say that Mario is just superior now when it comes to his games. And like Sonic's not really as good anymore, but has made somewhat of a comeback. Well, anyways, I guess that's all for now. So we are out.
okay, thanks for watching, people.